In 1998, Dark Horse Comics published a 4-part retelling of the original Star Wars movie in manga form. Now, do fans of the 1977 classic need to revisit their favorite film in manga form? Well, I would say yes, because it's a fun retelling of the story that has some creative license added that makes it slightly different from the original. Also, the artwork is impeccable. This is drawn by artist Hisao Tamaki, and obviously it's in that Japanese manga style, but it's a great black and white retelling of the original Star Wars film that will keep fans of the movies entertained from start to finish. Star Wars: A New Hope. And I should also mention that this comic book does not have any Jar Jar or irritating CGI scenes replacing some of the good original scenes. And in issue number 2, we'll see who shoots first, but this is issue number 1. The story begins with the episode 4 titles A New Hope, but it does not begin exactly like Star Wars. We actually start off with Luke Skywalker looking up at the sky, watching the battle take place above Tatooine. And check out this spread. His page layout is amazing. It's really fun to read, and I love the detail on the Star Destroyer, and his depiction of C-3PO and R2-D2, as well as the Stormtroopers, and of course, Darth Vader, who we meet in this issue. And of course, when you read this, or at least when I read this, I hear James Earl Jones's voice in my head. Here's that famous scene where Leia is giving R2-D2 that Laserdisc, or CD, or DVD, or whatever she's putting into him. Sort of looks like a DVD to me. She was ahead of the time. All of the characters in the Star Wars universe, or at least this Star Wars universe, have that anime manga style like Princess Leia here. So you may or may not like that aspect of this comic book, but I think the overall art quality in here is stunning, and it's a really fun read for fans of Star Wars. I mean, we all know the camera angles and the shots, and they're just slightly different in here. Different enough to make it interesting. Sometimes even better. And he also uses the page layout and, most importantly, that high contrast black and white style to highlight the action and the awesomeness in Star Wars. Being that this is the first issue in a 4-part miniseries, we get to meet some familiar characters like Uncle Ben, Aunt Beru, and of course Obi-Wan Kenobi. This particular issue ends right at that scene where Princess Leia is about to be interrogated by the Imperial probe droid. And then, of course, you'll need to read issue number 2. This is a sizable read, and when you get all 4 of them, it actually makes for a really nice collection, nice cover artwork on there. Once again, a 1998 release from Dark Horse Comics. It's the Star Wars manga retelling the original Star Wars film before it was completely destroyed with all those horrible CGI additions, and you know that scene with Han Solo where Han shoots first. It's Star Wars issue number 1, a graphic novel-style manga from Dark Horse Comics, part 1 of a 4-part series. I highly recommend the entire thing, and they also published manga for The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as well. But this is the very first one, issue number 1. Meet Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, 3PO, Vader, Leia, and many of your other favorite characters like the Sand People, Jawas, and Imperial probe droid. It's a trap, because once you read this one, you'll have to read the rest. Star Wars issue 1.